Yo, what is going on, everyone? Lord Syrian back at you guys with another manga chapter review, and in this video we're going to be going ahead and diving in and reviewing the most recent chapter from My Hero Academia, and that is chapter 338, the story of how we all became heroes. And before we get started into the chapter review, guys, if you guys would leave a comment on today's video letting me know what you thought of the video, as well as what you thought of the chapter itself, as well as liking the video if you did find it informative, liked it, and are interested in more anime and manga related topics. And if you guys are interested more in these style of videos, please consider sticking around, as I will be doing more anime and manga related videos daily. And with that out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and jump into chapter 338 of My Hero Academia. As we start this chapter off, we begin where we left off from the events from the previous chapter, where Aoyama and his parents have been apprehended by officials in UAI. They decide to cover Aoyama and his parents' mouth, stating that, from what we've seen, we can't assume that there is no danger. Erring on the side of caution, they restrain the trio just in case All for One were to add any contingency plans to them for the very reason. With Tsukachi asking Aoyama's parents why they didn't report to All for One about the Camino raid, they told him that the communication with All for One is impossible until he contacts him first. Seeing as how it is also a meticulous way of covering his tracks, as well as keeping them in the dark, Kaminari repeats what Bakugo tells him in chapter 336, and that is, we would still be on the back foot. That's why we're throwing so many people at this problem. Having realized a way to perhaps turn the tides on All for One, Yaoyorozu, Mineta, and Kaminari all state that the only one that can deceive All for One is Aoyama. Hearing his classmates rally for his innocence, as well as not giving up on Aoyama, he thinks to himself, why is everyone still willing to trust a villain scumbag like me? With Class 1A's class rep joining in on the situation, Ida tells both UA teachers and officials that they are also to blame for not seeing and realizing the turmoil taking place within Aoyama's heart, as he is one of them. Ida then telling everyone, we must lend a helping hand as friends. Showing their grit and resolve for their classmate and friend, Class 1A joins together to rally for Aoyama's sake. With Tsukachi halting Class 1A members, he tells them that they should put their emotions to the side and that they are still to hold the Aoyama family in custody for investigation. Aizawa asks Midoriya at this point if he has any sorts of plans in mind. Midoriya replies, no, not really. Aizawa then telling Tsukachi that he is part to blame for letting this happen under his supervision, telling Aoyama that he has no intention of expelling him, as well as that he has devised a plan. Before revealing this plan, Aizawa asks that the Aoyama family's ears be covered just in case. With Principal Nezu pondering the possibility and practicality of the plan Aizawa has made, the Aoyama family is then being transported off. With a final farewell, Midoriya calls out to Aoyama one last time before returning to their dorms. After all of Class 1A having headed back to their dorms, they all make a promise that they will get stronger for their upcoming fight. Midoriya and Ida then noticing how their costumes needed to be repaired due to their last battle, Hatsune blasts through their dorm asking him, oh my, it's been a while, hasn't it, Midoriya? With this final panel of Midoriya being absolutely crushed by Hatsune's assets, we end the chapter with a conclusion that perhaps he will receive a new upgrade next chapter. And alright, guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap up the chapter synopsis for chapter 338 from My Hero Academia. So now we're going to go ahead and head over into what I thought of this chapter. So personally, I thought this chapter was pretty good. I didn't think it was anything crazy, especially in comparison to the last few chapters we have gotten, where there have been a lot of twists and turns and a lot of cool reveals and a lot of different things added to the plot. This chapter was pretty tame in comparison, honestly, to those chapters, so really not too much to talk about in this sort of review. Personally, I think as though the possibility of Midoriya getting a new sort of costume upgrade will definitely be sort of apparent in the next coming chapters that we get on My Hero, but as of now there really isn't too much to go off of. I think perhaps them setting Aoyama up to be sort of like a double agent for All for One now this time to sort of deceive him, I feel as though could be pretty cool, but I honestly feel as though this may not work just because of how crafty and just sort of like shrewd All for One is. I feel as though he would be able to see through any sort of like deceit on like Aoyama's part, but definitely interesting to see where Hirokoshi will take this. as well as the new upgrades being presented to Midoriya as well as Ida. So let me know what you guys thought of the overall chapter. Overall, out of 10, I'd probably give it like, personally I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. This chapter didn't blow me away at all. It was pretty standard, you know. We got pretty hype moments with Star, and then also the reveal of the traitor. So it was only natural that this chapter wasn't going to be anything too crazy, you know. It was a good chapter. I liked it, but you know, as of the last few chapters, it wasn't that like sort of hype. So definitely a nice sort of chill chapter, a nice little chapter to ease us into whatever's coming next from My Hero, but definitely am looking forward to the next chapter next week. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. If you guys did like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys did like the chapter, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the chapter. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What would you like to see in the next chapter? As well as, if you do appreciate this style of video and do like anime and manga related things, perhaps you should consider sticking around, as I will be doing more anime and manga related topics here on the channel. But for me, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap everything up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope to hear from you guys next time. See ya.